Welcome to part 2 of Vegas Pro Essentials. The previous video showed how quickly you can get up to speed with Vegas Pro. We'll slow things down a bit for the next classes and start digging into the details of Vegas Pro. Let's rewind back to the very beginning and start off with setting up your project. When you launch Vegas Pro, you'll see the welcome screen. This is the easiest and fastest way to create a new project. You start off by choosing the type of video you'd like to create. For instance, widescreen 16:9 for horizontal or landscape videos, or portrait 9:16 for vertical or portrait videos. Next, you choose the resolution of your project. This is the actual size of the image in pixels. You have 720 HD, 1080 Full HD, and 2160 UHD, or more commonly referred to as 4K. Most online platforms accept 4K these days, but depending on your source material, storage, and your computer power, you would choose which one is more applicable to you. Next, you have the frame rate or playback speed of your video. Once again, this is dependent on your source material and what you intend to deliver to. Just remember that a higher frame rate doesn't necessarily mean better quality. Most of the footage for this Essentials course is 25 frames per second, so let's choose that. Lastly, 25 frames per second is a whole number, so the frame rate needs to be set to full frame. If you're dealing with fractional frame rates, such as 23.976 or 29.97, you may want to use the drop frame setting to ensure the correct playback of your timeline. If this sounds confusing, it usually is the safest to match what your main source footage is using. These are the only 4 settings you really need to get started. You could click Create Project and start working straight away. However, for those of you who like to know all the project creation settings, you can click Advanced Settings to launch the main project creation window. Just note that if you do this, the new project window does not carry across your settings from the welcome screen. So you would use the templates to set your project resolution and change the frame rate if required. Now, this section above the line is part of the template. If you customize the resolution and you're planning to reuse it, you could save a custom template. Simply give the template a new name and click the Save button. Everything below the line is not affected by the templates. Now, I can honestly say that the only settings you might want to change are in the Video tab. Everything from color space, render quality, to pre-rendered file locations. We'll touch on these in future videos, but the defaults should be fine for now. Clicking OK will create the new project. If you need to change something, the project settings are easily accessible. Just click the cog button in the main toolbar and you can apply the changes before pressing OK. The cog button is also located at the top of the video preview. Now, before we look at the different sections of the interface, I'd like you to get into the habit of saving your project just before you get started. When you create a project, it's not automatically named or saved. By saving a project, it allows the auto backup to start backing up your project every so often in case of any issues. You simply click the Save button or use the File menu. Choose a location for your project and give it a name. With any application, it's always recommended to save often. Don't just rely on the auto backup. With the project created, let's take a quick look at how the Vegas Pro interface is laid out. Starting at the top, I've already mentioned the main toolbar for project settings and saving, but it also contains the most common functions like New, Open, Render, Cut, Copy, Paste, and Undo. Pretty straightforward. The next large section underneath the main toolbar is known as the docking area. This area is super flexible because you can attach various windows and panels, change their sizes, and arrange them however you want. By default, there is a whole bunch of windows on the left for media effects, presets, and effects controls. On the right is the video preview for watching your content, and the master bus to monitor your overall audio output. Right below the docking area is the ruler and marker bar. This helps you navigate your timeline as well as mark up regions when needed. We'll be using this a lot in the coming videos. Beneath that is the main timeline, which shows the construction of your video and the order in which the events occur. Left to right is time, and bottom to top is layering of video and audio tracks. To the left, we have the track list, which shows how the video and audio events are layered together. And finally, we have the timeline editing tools and a status bar at the bottom of the interface. As mentioned earlier, this interface is customizable, and you can access the layouts through the main view menu to reset the interface or create your own layout. That's a lot of things to keep track of immediately, but you'll see the interface in action throughout the series, and I will only be focusing on the most important things first. Right, so we've covered the project creation, the interface, and very importantly, saving the project. Let's get some material into Vegas Pro and start getting organized. See you in the next video.